Hi, I'm Jasper Mortier. I already did a couple of videos about changing your capacitor in your passive instrument, in your passive Fender at least, since I have only Fenders. That already has a strong effect on the way the tone circuit works, if you use the tone circuit at all. The higher the value of the capacitor, the stronger the effect and the more not only highs but also mids are being affected. In here now is 100 nanofarads that was original for 51 precision. This is a copy, this is Telebass from 71, but it's a copy of a 51 precision. In the early days they used 100 nanofarads capacitor. In the Telebass was a 50 nanofarads. So I changed back to 100, but there was not only 100 nanofarads in there, but there was also a resistor in there. It's a bit mysterious why it's in there. As you know, passive tone control doesn't add anything, it only takes off high-end or mids. But if you take off highs and mids, it seems like it's more punchy. Of course, if you turn up your volume afterwards, it's more punchy because there's less highs and what remains is low-end. But for some reason they put a resistor in there, so if you turn down your tone, also your volume drops a little. So you would not distort the amp too much or whatever. In those days the amps were maybe more precious, especially for low end. They were more designed for guitars, also the mixing boards. So maybe there was an idea to cut the volume a little to compensate for the punch or whatever. But there are some people who also say it doesn't only affect the volume, but it also affects the way the tone capacitor works. So that was what got me interested, so I wanted to see how that worked out. I made before and after samples, of course. I marked, there's 4 spots. The first is totally open, then the first position is mild tone effect, and then the second position is stronger tone effect but still not too much. That's where I'm mostly at, in between position 2 and 3, so to speak. And then position 4 is totally closed. 1 open, 2 mild, 3 strong, 4 closed. I'll do two different sessions, one without and one with the resistor. And I'll get back to you. So there's no resistor in there yet, tone totally open. Tone quarter closed, whatever you want to call it, my first subtle effect, or subtle. Tone 2/3 closed, or whatever you want to call it. So strong effect, but like the sweet spot. Tone totally closed. So this is the situation before. So this being the volume pot and this the tone pot, and my 100 nanofarad capacitor. I changed the original 50 nanofarads for 100 nanofarads with a stronger effect. See another video about that. Maybe hard to see. The yellow wire coming in here. on the volume pot is going to go to this leg on the tone pot, and on the tone pot in between those two I'm gonna put the 15K resistor, and this is the resistor. It's metal film, I think. If you want to do it all classic, you have to have carbon comp or whatever. I don't have paper and oil even. I had another video about the paper and oil capacitor and I didn't hear too much difference. I don't think that's the big game changer. So, I'm curious how this is gonna work. I'll try to solder it in. So it's in there now, the resistor, and the yellow hot wire from the pickup is connected there too. Well, you can see it underneath. That's the yellow one. Yeah, used to be here, the yellow one, but the yellow one is now underneath the resistor there. Well, I share the schematic too, so you can see what I did. Hopefully it works. So the resistor is in here, thank God it works still. First tried with tone totally open, that should be about the same, but just for reference. Tone the first step down. Second step down. So 2/3 closed. So for sure that the volume drops, but it sounds really smooth too, so it's totally closed. Also really smooth, really nice, but it's also maybe because it's just not as loud. So I'll try to compensate for the volume. So I listened to it a couple of times shortly. First thing you of course notice is the volume drop if you turn down the tone control. But I also started to notice on my headphones while playing already, was in position free the strong effect and position 4 totally closed, that there was really something warm and punchy going on. So that felt surprisingly good. The volume drop is of course totally pain in the ass if you switch in between songs on a live gig, or even during the song to have a different effect. You can use it to your benefit, I'm not sure how, but I don't see any way, because I sometimes want to take off some high end to get a warmer effect during some spot in the song, and I don't want my volume also to change. So that's pain in the ass, but for recording of course you can just adjust in between, and then you can have a really strong tool. And especially listen to the volume compensated samples and the tone totally closed. There's clearly less honky MIDI thing going on with the resistor in there, so that's really promising. Warm and punchy, and not that yeah, well, I think you all know what I'm talking about. So that looked really promising. I'm not sure whether I'm going to leave it in here, but for now I'll stick to it and try it on my amp 2 and see how it works on the gig. Okay, ciao!